What is down in the town? ShadowRockZX here for the finale of Mega Memories Mega March Edition. And to end this off, we're going to talk about my first experience with the Mega Man Battle Network series. Many people who know me know that I love the Battle Network series. I mean, it's the series that started my YouTube channel. So you may be surprised to hear that I kinda hated its guts when I first laid eyes on it. If you watched my X6 video I did before this was around the time that I got done playing X5, then I bought Mega Man 14 in quotations at my local game store. At that same time, Mega Man Battle Network was hitting the scene. I'm pretty sure I even saw a poster for Battle Network 1 in that same game store. And I'm like, get a load of this guy. He looks like an ugly scuba diver. And he's moving around on these little squares? This looks nothing like my Mega Man. I remember playing Mega Man X4 back at home and thinking to myself, man, screw Battle Network. I'm never going to get into that series. I got all I need right here of X4. Now this is some real Mega Man. Well, you know, that all changed when Mega Man NT Warrior happened. Every Saturday morning on Kids WB, a new episode of NT Warrior would come out, and I ended up catching one of the episodes during the N1 Grand Prix arc. In fact, I think it was the one where Lan and Mega Man were trying to figure out how to do the Life Sword program advance. As I watched more of NT Warrior, it started to hit me like, okay, you got me. Maybe this series is worth checking out. So, somewhere around the same time, my uncle was the only one in my family who owned a Game Boy Advance, and I remember playing Yu-Gi-Oh! Worldwide Edition and some other stuff on his GBA, and I got my own copy of Pokemon Sapphire because I was super into Pokemon at the time, but I didn't have my own system, so I would have to play Pokemon Sapphire anytime I had access to my uncle's GBA at his house. There was even one time where I quote-unquote forgot to return his GBA after borrowing it, and so I took it back to my parents' house and beat the Elite Four that night, at long last. Anyway, this is about Mega Man. I begged my parents forever to get me my own GBA, and eventually at long last, my pleas were heard, and we went to the game store to get a GBA. The first game I picked up of my new system, a used copy of Mega Man Battle Network 1. Now, even though I watched NT Warrior and I knew about the battle chips and all that, for some reason, I still didn't wrap my head around the RPG mechanics at first. I don't know if I just completely skipped the tutorial or something, but I remember going into the first internet area and I just used my buster all the time. I would select the chips on the custom window, hit OK, but the chips would just stay there over my head and I would just mash B. I'm like, what do the chips even do? How do I use them? Maybe I just had too much classic and X brain rot. Miraculously, with just the buster, I made it to Fireman's dungeon, and when fighting the Torch himself, it quickly dawned on me, how am I going to take out this much HP with the buster? Let me try something else. What does A do? Oh, that's how you use battle chips. Okay, now it's all coming together. I don't know why it took me so long to figure that out, but after that point, Battle Network's gameplay completely clicked with me. I was almost ready to give up on the game because it seemed really boring. The enemies had too much dang HP with just the buster. But now that I figured out the mechanics, miraculously, this is fun. I would go on to beat B in 1, I'd get B in 3 for Christmas, picked up B in 2 a little bit after that, and got really hooked on B in 2 and 3. From there, the rest was history. Battle Network would become one of my all-time favorite series. And it was all thanks to Mega Man NT Warrior for inspiring me to even give it a shot in the first place. Oh, and as you could probably tell from my Shadowrock EXE avatar, it's safe to say that I came around on Mega Man EXE's design. That about does it for Mega March from me this year. I hope you all have been enjoying the month, and thank you once again to Cole Fam for the opportunity and for having me on. One last time, if you want to hear more Mega Memories like this one, definitely check out my series of the same name that goes through the Mega Man franchise in the order that I played them as a kid and so on. I'm doing retrospectives on each one, streaming them too. So far, Mega Man 3 is out, Mega Man X is in the works. Hey, maybe it's even out by the time you see this, I don't know. I'm trying to make it a monthly series. I would appreciate you so much if you would check it out for me. There may or may not be a link in the description. Alright guys, it's been fun. Thank you all so much. And until the next Mega March, jack in, Mega Man, power up! Oh, and rock on.